Emmy.
According to the website Centers for Disease Control and Prevention, in the United States, almost 30 lives are lost on a daily basis as a result of somebody driving while under the influence of alcohol. This accounts for one person's life being lost almost every hour of the day. Today, I want to persuade you on how big of a problem driving while under the influence of alcohol is, and the steps that can be done to prevent people from experiencing so much sorrow and grief. I am going to tell you how big of a problem drunk driving is, what can be done to prevent it, and how this contributes to less lives being taken. I have recently lost 2 friends as a result of somebody driving drunk. The driver that hit them had a blood alcohol content over 3 times the legal limit. She was going 98 miles per hour, and they instantly died on impact. This first picture is the car after the crash that they were traveling in. And the second picture is of the lady's car after the crash that hit them. This goes to show what alcohol does to somebody and why nobody should get behind the wheel after they've consumed alcohol. With having an experience of losing 2 friends as a result of somebody driving while intoxicated, I want to persuade people on how it can be prevented. First, I'm going to tell you how big of a problem driving while intoxicated is. At least one person drives drunk every day, and people are either seriously injured or killed as a result of it. The article, Impaired Driving, Get the Facts from the website CDC, says that almost 30% of the total vehicle moving casualties in America in 2016 were a result of drunk driving, which accounted for 10,500 lives being taken. People don't really realize how big of a problem driving while under the influence of alcohol is, and this gives a little insight on how big it is. Some people think they are okay to drive after they've consumed a little amount of alcohol, but they should not get behind the wheel of a vehicle after they have consumed any amount of alcohol at all. According to the website Alcohol Rehab Guide, the legal blood alcohol content in the United States is 0.08%. If a person has a blood alcohol content of 0.08% or higher and they get pulled over, they will probably get charged with the DUI, which stands for driving under the influence. People are affected by alcohol though, even before their blood alcohol content reaches 0.08. The symptoms of consuming alcohol may take a while to show, but as soon as someone takes one tiny sip of alcohol, it starts to affect them. This proves that people shouldn't be driving after they have consumed any amount of alcohol, and how some people think it's okay to drive after they've consumed a little amount of alcohol, which it isn't. Even though driving while under the influence of alcohol is a large problem, let's talk about some of the measures that can be taken to prevent it from happening. According to the article, Impaired Driving, Get the Facts from the website CDC, says that one way to prevent a person from driving while under the influence of alcohol is to appoint a designated chauffeur in advance before they even start drinking, or to call a public transportation service such as taxis or Uber. Another article, What Works? Strategies to Reduce or Prevent Drunk Driving, from the website CDC, says that 2 more ways to prevent drunk driving from happening come from ignition interlocks and sobriety roadblocks. Automobiles have interlocks placed in them to check the alcohol content on the operator. If the operator's level of intoxication is over a certain measure, the automobile isn't able to be operated. These are used to avoid drunk drivers, but people that have already had a DUI use them the most. If automobile manufacturers installed these locks in cars while they were being produced, it would have the best effect. For law enforcement to check if drivers are intoxicated, they put drivers at a standstill for a certain amount of time at roadblocks. These inspections happen at very common spots. Law enforcement may stop just a couple random drivers that come through, or may stop every single one that comes through. It just depends. Another big step that can be taken to prevent drunk driving from happening is to reduce the legal blood alcohol content. If the blood alcohol content was reduced, lives could be saved and crashes resulting from drunk driving could be reduced. An article from the website Fortune.com talks about how the National Transportation Safety Board has been trying since 2013 to lower the legal blood alcohol content to 0.05%. So far, the states of New York, Oregon, California, Utah, and Michigan have successfully lowered their legal blood alcohol contents. If the blood alcohol content was lowered, we could save nearly 2,000 lost lives. Also, if the blood alcohol content was lowered, some people might be scared to drive while under the influence because they are afraid that they will get caught. The blood alcohol content should be lowered all around the world to prevent drunk driving from happening and to save numerous lives. Designated drivers, public transportation, ignition interlocks, and sobriety roadblocks, and also the lowering of the legal blood alcohol content are all the ways that drunk driving could be prevented. Now that you know what could be done to prevent it, let's talk about where some of these changes have already happened. Designated drivers being used have already proved how they reduce fatal crashes as a result of alcohol. An article on the website designateddriving.net shows that motorists that are going to stay sober, that are assigned to drive others, have protected the lives of nearly 49,998 people. At the end of the year, 72 million human beings have used these types of drivers or have provided people with them. Public transportation services have also decreased the number of accidents and deaths from people driving under the influence of alcohol. According to the website alcohol.org, Road Crew is a program in the state of Wisconsin that the National Highway Traffic Safety Administration has financed to decrease the number of intoxicated drivers. Urban transportation services such as Uber, taxis, etc. get intoxicated people to and from places. Road Crew has completed more than 96,999 commutes by the end of 2008, which stopped an approximation of 135 intoxicated accidents. In the states where the legal blood alcohol content has been reduced, statistics of crashes and casualties have gone down. According to Robert Somwalt from an article on the website fortune.com, in Utah, where the legal blood alcohol content has been reduced, there has been a 65% decrease in casualties and almost a 45% decrease in accidents resulting from alcohol. These statistics prove that where these measures have been acted on, the number of alcohol-related crashes and deaths have gone down. It's time to work together to make these preventive measures happen everywhere to save more lives as a result of drunk driving. Drunk driving is something that can easily be prevented, but we all have to take a stand to make it happen. In conclusion, I have expressed how big of a problem drunk driving is and what can be done to prevent it. I have told you how many lives are taken or impacted as a result of people drunk driving. I also told you the measures that can be taken to prevent people from drunk driving and some states where these measures have already been taken. It's time to work together to stop people from driving drunk, and millions of lives could be saved every year as a result of it. I hope I have persuaded you to stop somebody from driving drunk the next time you get the chance to.